A survey conducted by Travel Pulse found that 77% of respondents indicated that they had some sort of travel goal on their list. I will include the link to this survey in the comments below. It is always extremely exciting when the time comes to buy a new vehicle, and we need to ensure that the money spent on your new vehicle is spent wisely, as in most cases your vehicles are the second biggest investment that you will make in your life after your home. Always remembering that your vehicles are a depreciating asset and not an unappreciating asset, as is most cases in your home. There are so many factors that play a role in what we choose, but today I would like to draw your attention to certain key factors that should be given serious consideration before making a final decision. Clearly, age can be a major factor in what we decide. But once we are married and establish our new family, then many of these considerations take on a new importance, as we have to cater and provide what is best for our growing family. A survey conducted in the US found that 2 in 5 Americans keep a bucket list, but a majority, 56%, are unable to complete the items on their bucket list due to financial constraints. Although this may sadly be true, we need to ask ourselves, do we need to visit destinations that far away from where we live? Or should we perhaps take a closer look at our backyard? For example, people living in Florida look to destinations located in states at or near the West Coast. Bear in mind that the converse applies in that people living at or near the West Coast look at destinations at or near the East Coast. Go figure, given the high cost for gas prices today, and this aspect can certainly make the difference between whether a proposed adventure is affordable or not. This probably applies especially to those who have bought a vehicle to use for the purpose it was designed for. Then ask yourself, is that important where you are, rather than the excitement of indulging in activities that test the endurance and capabilities of your SUV. This is the group that this free course is specifically targeted at. However, many of the suggestions and recommendations apply equally to those who plan adventures to general tourist destinations. I therefore strongly encourage those who do not fall into this category to take advantage of this opportunity to equip themselves with the skills and knowledge, as a result of which they will derive greater enjoyment and safety in their travels. In this category, there are no shortcuts, and if you intend indulging in the activities of this category, you will be well advised to take serious note of the content of this course, as it will optimize the likelihood of you returning alive from your adventures. It is of vital importance that if any and when you commit to such an adventure, that you fully understand the responsibility that comes with the territory, and you must be prepared to invest the time it will take to prepare and plan such an adventure. Just having an 4x4 SUV does not mean that you can just hop into your vehicle at any time and head off-road into the unknown. You have a family who love you and need you as the provider to act responsibly, never taking anything for granted. I am offering you this opportunity to participate in this free course because I care and your life is important. This is the group with whom I wish to share a summary of critical issues you need to address before embarking on such an adventure. How many vehicles are there? worldwide. We have now passed the mind-boggling number of 1 billion, which means there is one vehicle for every 8 humans on this planet. And that includes babies and children. So when it comes to current new car sales, how does the sale of SUVs measure up against other classes of cars over the past 10 years? In the USA, over the period 2010 to 2019, share of the market of SUVs has grown from 27% to a mind-blowing 50%. In other words, half of car sales are SUVs. Maybe you're wondering why you are not yet driving one. The different colored lines you see on this graph are comparing the performance in other major countries in the world, which I will look at in more detail in the next series of slides. So let's take a look how these other major countries have performed. As already shown on the graph, the USA has grown from just 27% to 50%. Now let us look at some of the others. South Africa has grown from 14% to 41%. China from 14% to 44%. India from 11% to 34%. Europe from 10% to 36%. Based upon these figures, we can only conclude that SUVs are the fastest growing sector in the world, and that at least 40% of all vehicles are SUVs. So what are the reasons why this class of cars is so popular? In the main, there are fundamentally 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is versatility. They are spacious. We all frequently have the need to move larger objects, not to mention rubbish and or gardening needs. As families grow, we need to move bicycles, skateboards, and other larger items around. When we go on holiday, or even just away for the weekend, there is simply not sufficient space in a conventional car to take it all with us. One gets the impression somehow that they are tough and can handle many more challenges than a conventional car would. This is an important consideration when there are more and more humps in the road, not to mention the ever-increasing number of potholes that plague our lives. SUVs generally have a stronger and more durable suspension and can better handle the knocks they have to endure in this modern day and age. Most people love to visit the game reserve from time to time, and with a higher ground clearance, occupants are seated at a higher level and therefore enjoy a greater visibility than a low-slung car can offer. SUVs exude a sense of power and adventure, especially when equipped with all the goodies, such as bull bars, winches, driving or fog lights, tow hitches, and the like. The list goes on and on. As already mentioned earlier, an SUV is better suited to load and carry all the many family toys which nowadays have to be taken with us wherever we go. If you have bought this SUV specifically for the purpose of driving in off-road conditions, then fitting of 4-wheel drive is actually a no-brainer. You simply have to have it. For the ordinary guy who had little or no intention of traveling off-road, the limited slip diff is in most cases adequate. But let's face it, here we are talking about those that buy a vehicle for the purpose it was designed for. Now we are getting to a major reason why so many people opt for the SUV option. They are actually buying this type of vehicle for the specific purpose they are designed for. Why, you ask? What are the benefits of these capabilities? It is built specifically to handle off-road conditions. Ever watch the Dakar? All the benefits mentioned under versatility play an important role when you intend using your SUVs in off-road conditions. There are times, especially in adventure travels, when there are not always roads to travel on, that a need arises to cross rivers, the depth of which are not known to us when we enter the water. Being in a location where river crossings are likely, it is wise to have a snorkel fitted to your SUV, as without it you could well find yourself out of your depth, especially when crossing rivers where crocodiles or alligators and other creatures exist. Especially for those adventurous individuals who plan to go off-road at some stage, the option to have the SUV kitted with four-wheel drive substantially enhances the vehicle's performance in challenging situations and conditions. Ideal if venturing to a place where no man's gone before. I have often wondered how many 4x4 SUVs are there whose owners don't even know how to engage this option. For many, it is just a case of being seen in this class of vehicle. It's a macho thing. Having traction control just adds to the options available to the driver and reduces risk. If you're planning to go off-road, best to have the full Monty. SUVs have many additional options you can equip them with, depending on your needs and where you plan to use the vehicle. So let's just examine a few of the options still available to SUV owners to make their vehicle ideal for their particular needs. SUVs have the height and the space to upgrade your suspension, which can substantially improve your ride and your handling in challenging conditions. You can upgrade your tire size and specification for similar reasons as mentioned in the previous slide. SUVs are designed in a way that the adding of bull bars and other enhancements such as camping gear becomes a breeze. By now, you should be convinced why SUVs are well worth considering, and you are ready and well equipped to take on the challenges of visiting a destination where no man has gone before. Enjoy the adventure